Hi everyone, today I'm going to be talking to you about how to convert different measurements of length. So there are many different ways to measure length, and you're probably familiar with them. There's inches, feet, yards, miles, which is the system that we use in the United States, and then there's also the metric system, which is millimeters, centimeters, meters, and kilometers. But we're going to focus on inches, feet, yards, and miles because we are in the United States. When you're converting one unit of measurement to another, something you have to think about is a conversion factor. A conversion factor shows the relationship between two different kinds of measurements of length. They describe how many units of one kind of measurement would equal 1 unit of another kind of measurement. For example, there are 12 inches in 1 foot. So when you're calculating how many inches are in 3 feet, you can just multiply by the conversion factor and figure out that there's 36 inches in 3 feet. So when you go from a big measurement to a small measurement, like when you're going from feet to inches, or if you're going from miles to inches, then you will multiply the conversion factor. But when you're going from a small measurement to a big measurement, you have to divide the conversion factor. So if you're trying to find out how many feet are in 100 inches, then you would divide by 12. So let's go through an example. So right here we have 9 yards, and we're trying to figure out how many feet are in it. And right here is the conversion factors for the system we use in the US. So we see that in 1 yard there are 3 feet. So that's the conversion factor for this relationship. So we're going from 9 yards to feet. So we're going to start off with the number that they give us, which is 9. And we're going from yards to feet. And yards are bigger than feet, so we're going from big to small, which means we're going to multiply by the conversion factor. So we have multiplication, and the conversion factor says that 3 feet are in 1 yard. So we multiply 9 times 3, which gives us 27. And so that means that in 9 yards there are 27 feet. Let's do another one. This one asks how many yards are in 12 feet. So when we look at this one, we start with the number that they give us, which is 12. And then we're going from feet to yards. So we're going from a smaller unit of measurement to a bigger unit of measurement, which means we're going to use division. So we'll put the division sign, and then let's see what our conversion factor is. So in 12 feet, we'll have a certain number of yards. When you go from feet to yards, we're going to divide by 3. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. So 12 feet is 4 yards. Now let's figure out how many inches are in 2 miles. Sometimes when you're doing conversions between measurements of length, you don't have an exact conversion between two measurements. Like this conversion factor chart doesn't tell us how many inches are in a mile. But what you can do is go from miles to feet, and then you can go from feet to inches. So that's what we're going to do here. And that will give us the answer of how many inches are in 2 miles. So we'll start off with the number they give us, which is 2. And then we're going to turn miles into feet. So we're going from a big unit of measurement to a small unit of measurement. So we're going to multiply by the conversion factor. And there are 5,280 feet in 1 mile. So we're going to multiply 2 times 5,280, which will give us 10,560 feet in 2 miles. And now what we have to do is convert the feet into inches. So we have 10,560 feet, and then we're going from feet to inches, which is big to small, which means we're going to multiply. So we multiply 10,560 by 12, which will give us 126,720 inches in 2 miles. So when you're doing these conversions, just remember the different conversion factors. You probably are familiar with 12 inches in 1 foot and 3 feet in 1 yard. I always forget the mile ones, but you should always have those with you when if you need them on an assignment or anything. And remember that when you're going from a big unit of measurement, so a measurement that is bigger than another one, like feet are bigger than inches, then you'll multiply. But if you're going from a small measurement to a big measurement, like inches to miles, then you will divide.